Hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. That one truth explains more success and failure than most people are willing to admit. Everyone wants to win, but most are avoiding the very path that leads to it. They want the results without the resistance, the glory without the grind, and that's the trap. Comfort is seductive, but it's the enemy of greatness. Today I'm going to share why choosing the hard way, again and again, is the secret behind the biggest wins in life. Whether it's building a career, mastering a craft, transforming your body, or changing your mindset, the shortcut never works. It's the hard way that shapes you, strengthens you, and separates you from the crowd. You see, the hard way isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's how you build mental toughness, learn resilience, and grow into the kind of person who can actually hold the success you're chasing. The world doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you earn. And what you earn depends on how much you're willing to endure. So stay with me for the next few minutes as I walk you through the mindset, the discipline, and the undeniable rewards of choosing the hard way in everything you do. Let's dive in. Number 1. Easy is a lie. Hard builds you. We live in a world that constantly whispers, take it easy. Everywhere you look, someone's trying to sell you the shortcut, the hack, the effortless way to success. But here's the truth. Easy is a lie. Easy doesn't lead to growth. Easy doesn't teach you anything. Easy doesn't build you into someone worth becoming. If you want to win bigger in life, you've got to stop chasing ease and start embracing effort. Think about anything worthwhile, anything that truly matters. A strong body, a thriving business, a meaningful relationship, a sharp mind. None of these come from taking the easy road. They are the result of deliberate, often uncomfortable effort. The kind of effort that stretches you, that tests your patience, that demands your consistency. That's the hard way. And that's the way that builds you. Every time you choose the harder option, whether it's waking up early instead of sleeping in, pushing for that extra rep in the gym, staying focused when distractions surround you, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. It's not about punishment, it's about power. Real power. The kind that's earned, not given. The hard way teaches you to respect the process. It humbles you, it disciplines you, and most importantly, it shows you what you're made of. The easy way might give you quick pleasure, but it robs you of deep pride. The hard way takes more from you up front, but it gives you back something far greater: confidence, capability, and character. So the next time you're at a crossroads and one path looks smooth while the other looks steep, remember this: easy is a trap. It keeps you small. The hard path, though, that's where transformation lives. That's where growth begins. And that's where winners are made. Choose it. Not because it's fun, not because it's fast, but because it's worth it. Number 2. Discipline over motivation. Every time. Motivation feels good. It gives you a boost, lights a fire, and makes you feel like anything is possible for a moment. But here's the problem. Motivation doesn't last. It fades. It's like a sugar rush, quick to show up and just as quick to disappear. If you're relying on motivation to carry you through life, you're going to be stuck waiting around for inspiration to strike. And while you wait, someone with discipline is passing you by. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for the right mood. It doesn't ask for perfect conditions. Discipline says, I do what needs to be done, whether I feel like it or not. That's the mindset that separates the average from the excellent. That's what turns a dream into a result. You don't wake up every day excited to push through pain or chase long-term goals. Nobody does. But the people who win, the ones who build something great, they don't make decisions based on feelings. They make decisions based on commitments. And they honor those commitments daily. Not occasionally. Not when it's convenient. Daily. Think about the top performers in any field. Sports, business, art, fitness, you name it. What do they all have in common? They show up, over and over again, on the good days and the bad ones. They treat discipline like a muscle, and they work it. That's why they succeed. Not because they were more motivated, but because they were more consistent. Discipline is what gets you up when motivation tells you to sleep in. Discipline is what drives you to finish what you started when motivation has left the room. And the beautiful thing is, the more you act with discipline, the less you need to chase motivation. You become the kind of person who acts no matter what. You become unstoppable. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment to begin. But discipline says, the perfect moment is right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the truth is, every day you wait, someone else is out there grinding. Someone else is sacrificing. Someone else is earning what you're still wishing for. So trade your dependency on motivation for a commitment to discipline. Set your alarm and honor it. Set your plan and follow through. Build the habit of doing what's necessary, because motivation might get you started, but only discipline will take you across the finish line. When you master that, you won't need inspiration to act. You'll act, and that action will inspire everything else. Number 3. No growth without resistance. If you've ever been to a gym, you know how muscles grow through resistance. You lift weights, your muscles tear slightly, and when they heal, they come back stronger. It's not comfort that makes them grow. It's resistance. And the same principle applies to every area of your life, your mindset, your habits. But here's what most people do. They avoid the resistance. They take the easier route, the one that doesn't demand as much. They dodge the discomfort, thinking they're being smart or efficient. But in truth, they're just delaying their potential. Every time you avoid resistance, you're missing a chance to rise. The hard truth is this: if you're not being challenged, you're not being changed. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in the discomfort, in the pressure, in the struggle. That's where the real transformation begins. And if you want to get better, truly better, you have to be willing to face what most people flee from. Resistance is not your enemy, it's your trainer. It shows you where you're weak so you can become strong. It shows you where you've settled so you can rise higher. It breaks you down, but only to build you back better. You'll never reach your potential if you avoid the very thing designed to shape it. Now I get it. Resistance is uncomfortable. It's painful. But growth always has a cost. It requires discomfort. It demands effort. And those who grow the most are the ones who lean into it, not away from it. They step into situations that test them. They take on goals that stretch them. They deal with people, problems, and pressures that most would run from. Why? Because they know that resistance builds resilience. And resilience builds greatness. Think about every time you've grown in your life. I'm willing to bet it didn't come from a time when everything was easy. It came from a time when you were forced to adapt, to push, to evolve. That's what resistance does. It pulls the best out of you. It brings out a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. So stop dodging difficulty. Stop trying to coast. Stop fearing the resistance. Welcome it. Run toward it. Let it refine you, strengthen you, and prepare you. Because the ones who grow the most, who win the biggest, are the ones who choose to face the force that others avoid. The resistance is here for a reason. It's not here to stop you. It's here to reveal you. Embrace it, grow through it, and watch who you become because of it. Number 4, learn to love the struggle. Most people do everything they can to avoid struggle. They see it as a sign that something's wrong, that maybe they're not cut out for this, or that life's being unfair. But struggle isn't a curse. It's a blessing in disguise. The ones who succeed at the highest levels are not the ones who avoided the hard times. They're the ones who learn to love the struggle, to respect it, and to grow from it. You see, struggle is where your character is built. It's where patience is tested, where commitment is proven, and where strength is earned. Anyone can smile when things are easy. Anyone can work hard when results are quick. But when things get tough, when it's just you and the challenge in front of you, those are the moments that separate the talkers from the doers. The moment you start seeing struggle as part of the process, instead of a punishment, everything changes. Struggle is not the obstacle. It is the path. It's the fire that forges discipline, the grind that sharpens your edge. And the beautiful part, once you push through it a few times, you start to see the power in it. You start to realize that every time you struggle, you're getting stronger, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're building a foundation that nobody can shake. And here's the truth. There's no real pride in doing something easy. There's no deep fulfillment in taking shortcuts. But when you've struggled through something, when you've fought tooth and nail to get it done, the satisfaction is on another level. That's the kind of pride that lasts. That's the kind of story you can tell with your head held high. But to get there, you have to stop running from hard things. You have to stop resenting the process and start embracing it. Wake up and say, this struggle today, this challenge, it's a gift, because it is. It's giving you the chance to grow into the person you were meant to be. It's building your grit. It's sharpening your focus. It's separating you from the crowd. No one becomes great by avoiding pain. No one becomes extraordinary by skipping the hard part. Greatness is born in the fire of struggle. It's earned by those who keep going when it gets tough, by those who lean into the challenge, not away from it. So if you're going through something difficult right now, don't curse it. Don't run from it. Stand tall. Face it and walk straight through. Love the process. Love the growth. Learn to love the struggle. Because one day you'll look back and realize it was the struggle that made you unstoppable. Number 5, delayed gratification creates legendary results. In a world that promises everything fast, fast food, fast money, fast fame, patience has become rare. But here's the truth that never changes. The bigger the reward, the longer the wait. Success that lasts isn't built overnight. It's built through the quiet, disciplined work that most people quit on because it takes too long. If you want legendary results, you've got to master the art of delayed gratification. It means saying no to what feels good now so you can say yes to what feels amazing later. It's the ability to walk past the short-term pleasure because you're focused on long-term greatness. And this is where most people fall short. They want the results, but they're not willing to wait. They want the reward without the patience. But if everything came quickly, nothing would have value. What makes success beautiful is the journey it takes to get there. Think of a farmer. He doesn't plant seeds today and expect a harvest tomorrow. He waters, he waits, he protects the soil. And when the season is right, the harvest comes. That's how greatness works. You plant your habits. You show up daily. You resist distractions. And over time, slowly but surely, the results show up. The truth is, anything that comes too fast usually doesn't last. Quick money vanishes. Crash diets fail. Shortcuts break. But when you earn something brick by brick, day by day, you build something no one can take away. That's the power of delayed gratification. It's not punishment. It's wisdom. It's strategy. It's the mindset of someone who's playing the long game. This mindset doesn't just build results, it builds you. It strengthens your willpower. It teaches you patience. It separates you from the people who are constantly chasing dopamine hits, chasing validation, chasing quick fixes. You become solid, grounded, someone who can endure, who can lead, who can sustain success, not just taste it. Every time you resist the urge to quit, every time you choose to keep going without applause, every time you delay pleasure for purpose, you're building something powerful. You're stacking discipline. You're building momentum. And in the end, you'll have more than just success. You'll have the satisfaction of knowing you earned every inch of it. So don't get caught in the trap of instant gratification. It might feel good in the moment, but it steals your future. Choose the longer path. Choose the process. Delay the reward. Because when the day finally comes, and it won't just be a win. It'll be a victory built on every small decision you made when no one was watching. That's how legacies are made. One disciplined delay at a time. Number 6. The hard way teaches what school doesn't. School can teach you facts, formulas, and history. It can give you degrees and grades. But the hard way? That's where real life teaches you what the classroom never could. No textbook can prepare you for the kind of lessons you get when things don't go your way, when the plan falls apart, when rejection hits, when you're left with nothing but your own will to keep going. See, the hard way is where you learn resilience. You don't learn that by memorizing something for a test. You learn it by being tested in real life, when you failed once, twice, 10 times, but still show up again. That kind of strength doesn't come from sitting in a chair. It comes from falling down and getting back up with no applause, no teacher, and no one giving you a gold star. The hard way teaches you emotional control. It teaches you how to keep your cool when everything's falling apart. It teaches you patience, because real success doesn't follow a semester schedule. It teaches you resourcefulness, because out here, there's no manual. There's just you, your vision, and your next decision. And it teaches you humility, because when you go through struggle, real struggle, you stop thinking you're entitled to anything. You stop waiting for someone to save you or hand you something. You realize that life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards actions. It rewards those who earn it. Now let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with education. It has its place. But if you rely solely on it and never walk the hard road, you'll be filled with theory and starved of experience. The hard way brings your knowledge to life. It forces you to apply what you know, to adapt when things don't work, and to grow when life demands more from you than you thought you had. You won't learn how to negotiate under pressure in a classroom. You won't learn how to lead people through a storm, how to make tough calls, or how to rebuild after a failure by filling out multiple choice answers. You learn that by living it, by failing, adjusting, and continuing on. That's the kind of education that makes you dangerous in the best way. So stop fearing the hard way. It's not a detour. It's the main road to becoming exceptional. It's where you sharpen your instincts, develop your grit, and build the kind of intelligence that can't be faked. You want to grow into someone who wins at life? Then stop looking for the perfect plan and start walking the hard path. Let it shape you. Let it teach you. Because once you've learned those lessons, the ones no school can offer, you'll have something far more powerful than a degree. You'll have real wisdom, and that will carry you farther than any diploma ever could. Number 7. Hard work builds unbreakable confidence. There's a certain kind of confidence that can't be faked. It doesn't come from compliments, trophies, or titles. It comes from hard work, from showing up day after day, doing what others avoid, and earning your progress inch by inch. That's the kind of confidence that sticks with you. It's not loud, but it's deep. It doesn't need to brag because it already knows. You see, when you put in the work, real work, you start to trust yourself. Not because someone told you you're good, but because you've seen yourself push through the discomfort. You've felt the burn, faced the fatigue, dealt with doubt, and still kept going. That's where real self-belief is born. You didn't just imagine it, you lived it. People think confidence is about being fearless. It's not. It's about being prepared. When you've done the reps, when you've stayed disciplined, when you've earned every bit of your skill, you walk into any room, any challenge, any pressure, and you know you can handle it. Because you've already done the hard part when nobody was watching. Hard work gives you something nobody can take from you: certainty. The certainty that you've earned your spot, that you didn't cut corners, that you didn't rely on luck, that you've built your results with your own two hands. And when you've got that kind of foundation, your confidence becomes unshakable. And here's the truth: confidence built on shortcuts is fragile. The moment things get tough, it cracks. The moment someone questions your ability, you shrink. But when your confidence comes from hard work, it doesn't crack under pressure. It gets stronger. Because you know you've faced the fire before, and you didn't just survive, you came out better. That's why the hard way is the best way. Every early morning, every extra rep, every late night of focused effort, it all stacks up. It all counts. You might not see the results right away, but you will feel the shift. You'll stand taller, speak clearer, move with conviction, because you know you've earned the right to be there. The people who doubt themselves the most are often the ones who haven't done the work. They know they've skipped steps. They know they haven't gone all in. But the ones who've committed, who've suffered through the grind, they walk with a quiet strength that no one can rattle. So if you want real confidence, not just surface-level hype, but the kind that stays with you through storms, then work for it. Earn it. Build it through action, through discipline, through hard choices. And you'll find that your confidence is no longer a wish. It's a weapon, one that you carry with you into every challenge, every room, and every moment that matters. Number 8. Do the things others avoid. Look around and you'll see most people running from discomfort. They avoid the tough conversations, the early mornings, the extra work, the heavy lifting, anything that feels inconvenient or intimidating. But here's the truth: the very things people avoid are usually the things that would change their lives. The path to greatness isn't crowded, because most people are busy avoiding the work it takes to get there. If you want to rise above the average, start by doing what average people refuse to do. Pick the harder task. Face the difficult decision. Lean into the challenge. Not because it's glamorous, but because it's transformative. Every time you do what others dodge, you gain a kind of advantage that can't be bought. It has to be earned. The reason this works is simple. When you do what's hard, you grow. When you do what others avoid, you separate yourself. You become uncommon in a world that's addicted to ease, that edge, that grit, that willingness to go further. Those are the ingredients that make a winner. Not talent, not luck. Just the decision to show up and do what most won't. Think about it. Most won't stay late to finish a task right. Most won't sacrifice comfort for long-term gain. Most won't wake up early to work on their dreams before the world wakes up. And that's your opportunity. Every time you choose what's difficult, you're putting distance between you and everyone who said, "I'll do it tomorrow." It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing. Willing to take the shot even if you're scared. Willing to show up even when it's hard. Willing to make mistakes, get back up and try again. That mindset alone will take you places others can't go, simply because they never even tried. And here's something most people never realize. After a while, what once felt hard starts to feel normal. The things others avoid become your daily routine. You get stronger, sharper, more focused. While others are still making excuses, you're making progress. While they're thinking about how hard it is, you're living proof that it's possible. So if you want to win bigger, make this a rule. When something feels hard, don't run. Move toward it. Face it head on. Ask yourself, what would most people do right now? And then do the opposite. That's where the breakthrough lives. The world respects those who do what others avoid. Because those are the ones who don't just survive. They thrive. They don't wait for easy days. They train for hard ones. And when the moment comes, they're ready. Because they've already done the work no one else wanted to do. That's how you win bigger. That's how you lead. And that's how you build a life worth remembering. Number 9. Pressure creates diamonds. Pressure isn't the enemy. It's the environment where greatness is born. Most people run from it. They avoid deadlines, responsibilities, challenges, anything that puts them under the microscope. But the truth is, pressure doesn't break you unless you're already brittle. What pressure really does is reveal what you're made of. It exposes your weaknesses. Yes, but it also awakens your strength. You don't find out how capable you are in easy times. You find it out when everything's on the line. When your back's against the wall, when the clock is ticking, when failure is staring you down. That's when the real you shows up. That's when you discover your grit, your creativity, your resilience. Pressure brings it out because it has to. There's no other choice. Look at any diamond, it starts as a lump of carbon. Nothing special, but under extreme heat and pressure, it becomes something rare, something valuable, something unbreakable. You are no different. The more you learn to handle pressure, the more refined you become. And the best part? Once you've endured it, you never go back to being the same. You become stronger, wiser, sharper, more prepared for the next level. But here's the key. Don't resist the pressure. Embrace it. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" start saying, "What is this building in me?" That shift in mindset changes everything. Suddenly, pressure becomes your teacher, not your tormentor. It becomes your sharpening tool, not your stumbling block. When you take responsibility, when you chase goals that stretch you, when you accept challenges that scare you, that's pressure, and it's a gift. It's proof that you're growing, that you're not playing small, because let's face it, there's no pressure in mediocrity. There's no pressure in comfort zones. Pressure only comes when you aim higher than average. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it will test you. But what's the alternative? A life of playing it safe? A life of wondering what you could have become if you had just leaned into the heat, instead of backing away from it. Here's what pressure does. It trains your focus. It speeds up your learning. It builds mental toughness. And it prepares you for the moments that truly count. Champions are not created in practice. They're revealed in pressure. That's where they rise. That's where they shine. So don't run from it. Don't fear it. Step into it. Own it. Let pressure forge you into something rare, something resilient, something remarkable. Because just like that diamond, the version of you that emerges from the pressure is worth far more than what you started with. You just have to stay in the heat long enough to become it. Number 10. Stay consistent when it's not fun. Everyone loves starting. Starting feels exciting. It feels fresh. It's filled with energy and optimism. But starting isn't where success is built. Success is built in the middle, when the excitement fades, when the results are slow, when nobody is cheering, and you're left with nothing but the decision to keep going. That's the moment that separates the committed from the curious. The moment you choose to stay consistent, even when it's not fun. You see, motivation might get you going, but it's consistency that gets you growing. It's easy to show up when everything's going your way. It's when nothing seems to be working that your discipline is tested. That's where the real game begins. That's where you find out if you're serious or just interested. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when progress feels invisible. Days when quitting feels easier than continuing. But those are the exact moments where growth is happening. Quietly, slowly, beneath the surface. And the people who stick with it during those days are the ones who break through later. Because success doesn't show up every day with fireworks. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it hides behind routine and repetition. But it always rewards those who stay the course. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Not massive leaps every day, but steady, intentional steps. When you keep showing up, day in and day out, you create momentum. And once momentum is on your side, the game changes. It's no longer about forcing yourself to move. It becomes part of who you are. Consistency builds trust, not just from others, but within yourself. When you do what you say you're going to do, even when it's inconvenient, you start to believe in yourself on a deeper level. You prove that you're reliable, that you're tough, that you can be counted on, especially by the person in the mirror. But the key is this: don't rely on how you feel, because feelings are fleeting. One bad mood, one tough day, and your whole plan can fall apart if you let it. But when you build your habits around discipline instead of emotion, you take the wheel, you run the day, you control the outcome. So keep showing up, keep putting in the work when nobody's watching. Keep pushing through the boredom, the frustration, the doubts. That consistency, even when it's not fun, is your competitive edge. It's what turns ordinary efforts into extraordinary results, because anyone can start, few can stay. And the ones who stay, the ones who keep going, who keep believing, who keep working, those are the ones who win. Not because it was always fun, but because they showed up anyway. Number 11. Your story is written in the hard moments. Everyone loves the highlight reel. The victories, the trophies, the applause. But the truth is, your real story, the one that shapes you, defines you, and inspires others, is written in the hard moments. It's written in the silence, in the struggle, in the days when quitting feels easier than continuing. Those are the chapters that matter most, not the wins, but what you endured to get there. It's easy to stand tall when everything's going right. But who are you when the setbacks come? Who are you when the door closes, when the deal falls through, when the plan collapses? That's where your character is tested. That's where the real story begins. Because those hard moments reveal something deeper. Your grit, your heart, your willingness to fight for what you believe in, even when the world gives you every reason to stop. You don't build a meaningful life by skipping the struggle. You build it by choosing to keep going when life punches you in the face. You build it by rising after every fall, by choosing purpose over pain, and by turning your trials into testimony. That's the difference between those who watch life happen and those who shape it. And let's be honest, no one is inspired by someone who had it easy. We connect with those who've walked through the fire and came out stronger. We admire those who faced setbacks but didn't let those setbacks define them. That's what makes a story powerful. That's what makes a legacy last. The hard moments are your proving ground. They teach you more about yourself than any victory ever could. They expose your weaknesses, yes, but they also uncover your strength. They show you just how much you're capable of when your back is against the wall. And every time you choose to keep going, to keep believing, to keep working, you're writing another powerful sentence in your story. Don't waste those moments. Don't rush through them or wish them away. Lean into them, learn from them, let them mold you. Because one day when you look back, you'll realize those were the moments that shaped you the most. Not the spotlight, not the celebration, but the quiet, unseen battles you fought and won when no one was watching. So when the hard moments come, and they will, don't see them as interruptions. See them as invitations. Invitations to become stronger, wiser, more resilient. Invitations to write a chapter worth reading. Because your story isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. And the hard moments, they're the parts that give it depth, meaning, and power. That's where legends are written. And you right now are holding the pen. Number 12. The hard way is the fastest way in the long run. It sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? The hard way, the path filled with obstacles, setbacks, late nights and uphill climbs, being the fastest way. But it's true, because while shortcuts might promise speed, they almost always lead you in circles. They break down, they collapse under pressure. And when they do, you're forced to go back and do it the right way anyway, the hard way. See, when you commit to the hard path from the beginning, you're not just building results, you're building structure. You're building habits, discipline, mindset, resilience, the foundation that success actually stands on. That foundation takes time to lay, yes. But once it's there, everything you build on it is strong, stable, and lasting. People often chase quick fixes, fast cash, overnight success, instant recognition. But what they don't realize is that most of that stuff is an illusion. It's like building a house out of paper. It looks impressive for a moment, until the first storm shows up. And when it does, it all falls apart. But the hard way, that builds a house out of stone. It takes longer to stack, to carve, to position, but when the storm comes, it stands, it lasts. And it gives you peace of mind, knowing that you built it with integrity. Taking the hard way also means you make fewer mistakes in the future. Why? Because you've done the work. You've learned the lessons, you've felt the friction, and figured things out the right way. You don't have to keep going back to fix what you rushed. You move forward slow at first, maybe, but steady, solid, and sure. That's how you actually get ahead. Here's what most people don't realize. All that time they spend looking for hacks, searching for shortcuts, avoiding the real work, it's costing them more time in the end. They stall, they quit, they start over. And while they're still trying to figure out how to skip the hard part, someone else is out there grinding through it and winning. So if you really want to move fast in life, do the hard thing now. Wake up early, stay late, learn the skill the right way, build the habit, say no to distractions, stick with the plan. It might feel slow at first, but soon you'll start to pass the people who thought they had a head start. Success isn't about speed, and the hard way may feel longer in the moment, but it's the only road that doesn't lead you back to square one. So stop asking how fast you can get there. Start asking how strong you can become on the way. Because in the long run, the hard way, without a doubt, is the fastest, smartest, and most rewarding path you'll ever walk. Easy will always tempt you. It looks smooth, it feels comfortable. It whispers promises of quick success, painless progress, and effortless rewards. But what it never tells you is the cost, the regret of what could have been, the weakness that grows in comfort, and the smallness of a life never tested. The hard way doesn't come with promises. It doesn't offer shortcuts or applause. What it offers is something far greater, transformation. The hard way challenges you to become someone different, someone disciplined, someone resilient, someone powerful. It pushes you beyond your limits and shows you what you're really made of. It forces you to grow when you want to retreat, to stand tall when you want to sit down, and to keep going when quitting would be so much easier. When you choose the hard way, you choose growth over ease, long-term rewards over short-term comfort, and purpose over pleasure. And in doing so, you step into a rare category of people, the kind who don't just survive life but shape it, the kind who win bigger. Not because they had more talent, but because they had more will. There's a reason why the hard way is less crowded. Most people avoid it. But that's also why it leads to the highest ground. The people who walk that path earn more than success. They earn confidence. They earn freedom. They earn a legacy. So when life gives you options, choose the one that requires more of you. Choose the early mornings, the extra reps, the late nights, the delayed rewards. Choose the struggle, the sweat, the climb. Not because it's fun, but because it's worth it. The hard way is not a punishment. It's an invitation to greatness, to mastery, to a life most only dream of. Every time you choose it, you cast a vote for the best version of yourself. You write a better story, and you show the world what it looks like to truly win. So don't wait for it to get easier. You get stronger, step into the fire, embrace the challenge, choose the hard way, and win bigger than you ever imagined.